Hey guys, it's Dave here from D Drums. Welcome to this lesson. Now today's lesson is going to be from a really cool song called Chop Suey, System of a Down. I'm going to go through all the drum parts, every single one, and hopefully you get some good value from this lesson. If there's anything you're not sure about with the drumming in this song, hopefully this lesson gets it clarified for you. All right, and I've also hopefully put a link in the description below for the transcription of all the parts that we go through today's lesson. So hit the link for that. Hopefully it's there and you can get it. If not, just give it some time, maybe a couple of weeks or something. Maybe I haven't put it up there yet, but hopefully it's there for you. All right, hopefully it's there for you. And so let's get into today's lesson by starting with the opening beat in the song, which has a rhythm like. How do we count that? Well, the counting is going to make it easy. It's going to go 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and 1 and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and. Now the easy way of playing that would just be, putting the pattern on the, say, one of the toms, like the tom or the floor tom, like that. You could do that, right? The next step, obviously put a bass drum on the 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And then put the pattern with the bass drum. That would be like the easy way of playing it, but if you're going to do more like the song, well, today we're going to use like the first tom, second tom, and the floor tom as well. All right, so we're going to have those 3 toms going along, and we're going to aim to play the pattern like this. Now I know sometimes you'll see drummers and I'll put extra toms and keep on going because I'll have 4 toms. I'm only using 3 toms because many of you only have 3 toms in your kit. And so we're going to learn this in that way, 3 toms, right? So now let's try it around the tempo of the song. So the tempo of the song is about 130 beats per minute. So we're going to try it about there. Here we go. The next part is the build-up that happens on the drums between the floor tom, tom, and the bass drum. And you're basically going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The 4 and is playing the flam on the snare drum, right? Now you could probably still add a bass drum with that too. Won't make too much of a difference, but this is how it sounds. And try and start off softer and then build up. And that's basically that part there. Always good to count it so you can make sure you add the flam in the correct position. All right, next part we're going to look at is the main beat. The main beat number 1 is there's a few main beats, but this is main beat number 1 that happens. And first look at the hats. They're pretty much playing like 8th notes, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can see I'm accenting the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would see on the beat there should be accent cymbals on the 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We're also going to have a loose hi-hat, so not much pressure going on the hi-hat pedal, just a little bit, because you want to have loose sounding hi-hats. And then the bass drum and snare drum is going 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it all together. you know. Pretty tricky beat to play, especially like 130 beats per minute. But let's give it a go at 130, and then we'll also try slomming it down as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about 80 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so moral of the story, definitely practice different tempos, because you know the song can be pretty tricky, and if you practice slower tempos, I guarantee you're going to get better control in your playing. All right, so the verse, that's that crazy part of the song, and basically we're going to look at the basic idea, which is going to go like this. Now I think the first two hats there, those first two, actually are on the snare drum as well. But you'll see on the screen I've just written the main idea, and that's okay because we want to get the basics going really well, right? And then you can move around and do your own thing with that too. So let's try it about 100 beats per minute. We just slow it down a bit slower than the song. Here it goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's try it around about the tempo of the song, about 130. And if that's still tricky, then maybe you'll leave out the double bass drum, just do a single like this. Like that. You could just, modify things so that the most important thing, I guess, is staying in time with the song, and then if you want to try the tricky parts, just try playing them a bit slower, all right? And then you get the control, then you can speed them up. Okay, let's get into beat number 2, main beat number 2, which is kind of a bit easier actually than the first one because there's a lot more straightforward stuff going on in this beat. So here's how it sounds. Let's try a 130. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's bring that right down to about 80 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're going to get into the feel that happens in this song. That happens quite a bit, and basically you're going to go simple like that. Now what did I do? I went like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So from the count 3 would be like that. So 3. And the next section is like one of those half-time grooves. Half-time because the bass drum's now going to be on the 1 and the snare's going to be on the count 3. So it just kind of like feels like the song is going a lot slower, hence the name half-time groove. All right, and you're also going to be on the ride cymbal going like this. Now you're still counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but it's less busy because of the half-time feel. Here's how half-time groove number 1 goes. Let's try with a metronome at about 130 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, you can hear I'm, with the left foot, I do like to play the hi-hat on the 1, 2, 3, 4, just because it helps keep time. For you advanced or intermediate players, try and always add that left foot. If you're a beginner, that can be a little bit tricky to try and do that because the four-way coordination. But just get used to tapping your foot on the 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get used to that. So halftime groove number 2 goes like this. Try with a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Playing drums is a lot of fun, that's for sure. All right, let's get into halftime groove number 3. And halftime groove number 3, we're basically just keeping it pretty straight. It's the same thing, the cymbal, but you can see the bass drum is not doing much. It's just playing the 1 and 3. But I think as well, when you hear the song, there's lots of crash cymbals, and I'm not really kind of talking about those so much today. We're going through the main ideas of the song, but you can definitely hear there's a lot of crash cymbals that play in certain spots. So you may want to have a close look at them when you play along with the song. So anyway, here's halftime groove number 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, another part of the song we're going to go through, and this is part that happens earlier in the song. It's actually the crazy part that happens where the singer does this scream, and the drums just kind of go, they almost go like double time. It's a pretty crazy part. That's why I call it the crazy part. And here's how that part sounds. All right, we're going to try it 130 beats per minute. Here it goes. So your hats, the hats are still playing the hi-hat, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the right hand's still playing that pattern, and the bass drum is playing all the hi-hats as well, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's not too hard. The part that's kind of tricky there is the left hand going in between and playing all the E's and the R's, the 16th notes like this. Like that. So you may want to slow that down, and maybe just keep the pattern going as a bit of an exercise too. And then you can, work on different tempos and eventually get up to 130. All right. Another really cool part in this song is the double time punk beat. This is probably my favorite part of the song because I'm a big fan of punk rock. So let's get into how the beat sounds at about 130 beats per minute. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is definitely one we want to slow right down and kind of think through a little bit, all right? Exactly where things are meant to be. The good news is the hi-hat is super easy. It's just going 1, 2, 3, 4. The left hand is playing the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the good news. The funky news is the bass drum is playing the 1, the 2 and the 3 and. So you're playing the 1, the 2 and the 3 and. So it ends up sounding like this. 1, 2, and 3 and 4. 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 And there's your pattern there. You know, just try it slowly and build it up, you know, till you eventually hit 130. You might want to try like a variation where maybe you just take away the 2 and just leave the 3 and, like this. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2. It seems to be an easier variation to speed up. How would that one sound fast? It would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear it doesn't quite sound the same as the other one, but you know, it still sounds pretty cool. So that's just an easier variation you could use if you want to. All right, the last part I'm going to show you is the outro, and that's like the last 2 bars, how it sounds. Basically, it's doing the halftime pattern on the ride cymbal, and then you've got a few crash cymbals. So I'll give you a demo at 130 beats per minute. Here we go. Here's a bit slow at about 90 BPM. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So some parts like that are easy, you know, when you're actually playing along with the song. However, you know, once again, make sure you download the music that's in the link below, and that will help, you know, always practicing with that. You know, and you can also, of course, use the video as a guide. Whatever it takes for you guys to learn the song, go for it, you know, whatever it takes. And get in there, practice. Make sure you're practicing with a metronome. And any parts that are tricky, just slow them down and count them out, right? And that'll help. So I remember when I was growing up and having lessons a lot, you know, my teachers would always say, okay, slow it down, count the beats out. And funny enough, when I actually did that, it actually helped so much to learn things really well. And it still happened. I still practice like that today, all right? And hey, if you got some value from the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more videos just like this, because I'll be making a lot of lessons. And if you have a request for like a lesson or a song you want to learn, make sure you hit that in the comment section below, and I'll definitely look at doing that in a future lesson, guys. So, hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. And what impresses me the most and makes me the most happy is when I see, you know, people learning and growing and getting better on their instrument. That's totally awesome, guys. So you are awesome. I'll see you on the next video. See you soon, guys.